Patron, take them away.
Okay guys, hope you're well. Big Scruff here, and sitting next to me is Wonder Wink, and we're about to go into the charts. And why? Well, why not? How are you today, Wonder Wink?
Fine.
You're fine. And I've got a special mention for Kevin. Super salute to you, because he sent me this. Lobot. Fantastic. I did open it last night, but there wasn't any name in it, and we just figured out who it is. So, top one. That'll be up there very shortly. Fantastic. I need a pin for up there.
I know I'll get one today.
Will you? What else are you getting today? Are you going to play with Bert today? She is and all. Monkey girl. Dirty girl. She's going to play with Bert. For those of you who don't know who Bert is, it's a credit card. What on earth did you think we were talking about? Well, with her, you're probably right. Anyway, so, what are we... She's going to kill me. that was the silence of death, as it's known in this house. Because if she doesn't laugh and just stares, it's like, ooh. Even the kids know. They'll look at me and they'll go, "You've had it." Oh dear. Right, sorry. Right, charts. For those of you who've never been here before, everything we do here is live. It's unscripted and it's as we go. That's why it's a bit chaotic at times. But when it comes to the chart, I'm always on point. You know, when I'm waiting for a trade, I'll take the piss, I'll have a laugh, I'll even have a rant. I love a good rant. You gotta have a rant. And she has them all the time, except she doesn't like to say them in public, because apparently that's uncouth. But what is not uncouth is kicking the shit out of me when she's having one.
I do not.
She's
exaggerating.
She abuses me, boys and girls. Yeah. Go on, abuse me. Right, we're gonna drop this in, and I'll explain why. I'm gonna put the order in now, so that I don't miss it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to explain the trade. Now, I count 5 candles back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I look for a logical point of getting in. Now, for me, it's kind of under here, this one. All right, I want to see it break that candle and at least come to the edge of that one. Okay, so let me just drop that in now. Just like so. There we go. So I'm going to leave that under there. And we're going to target. Yeah, that'll do for now. I'll adjust the targets as we go. Now, there's very good reason why I do that. The New Zealand is quite strong this morning, and the US lost some ground. But it's also Friday, so there can be a reversal of money taking, or profit taking rather, and other elements. Because when something's incredibly strong, doesn't mean to say it's going to stay strong. It means it's very expensive. And if it's very expensive, people look to sell it. Now, likewise, if something is very weak, becomes good value, so people want to buy it. So it's almost reverse psychology. Now, I've already spoke about this to the guys in this video here. It's currently crouching 9:30, so that went up sort of 18 minutes past 9. So they're already watching what I'm about to do. Well, now, because I like to tell the guys exactly what I'm doing before I do it. I think it's the fairest way. Now, I also give them a heads up on a morning. This goes in anywhere between 7 and 7:30, a bit earlier if I can do it. I'll work the strengths out for them. And as we can see, the New Zealand is strong, the US is weak. However, when we flick it over, we can see the change of strength, because that did surge and that did drop. So what that tells me is it's movement. And then if I look at the market pick, it's actually the #1 product to look at, New Zealand here. Now, what we've also got are these here as secondary products if we want to look at it. In here are the majors, and of the majors, it's saying the Aussie dollar is pretty good to look at, and euro pound, and it's also pulled out the cable, which corresponds to here, because of this. Basically, if it shows a chart in this column, it's good to go, and then if this column fires up, it tells you whether it's good, fair, or just okay, where it doesn't say anything. So that's it. But when I've had a flick through, the best contender is this one. Okay, so they've had a good heads up, and if I just flick that Discord back up a second, I'll go one step further for them with this bias here. There are the basket of products that I look at. If you look at them here, it's this lot here. It's my go-tos. None of them are ready, but this one is. That flashed up as a sell, told me to monitor it, and it's telling me it's a fair trade. It's pretty good to go. Okay, so that kind of gets onto that, which is where this trade has come from. All right, because I try to be a little bit robotic. Do you need the sheet? Not necessarily. You can do it through FinViz, and if you look through some of the other videos, you'll see that I've shown you how to work FinViz. But in that Discord group, there's also the Scruff, where it'll actually go through everything I do as a trader and give you the framework to become consistent and profitable, because I guess that's our aim. So how is this working? What is it that I'm looking at? Well, in this, I'm looking at a massive retracement. Let me show you. I'd like to think I'm a pretty good counter trend retracement trader. Now in it, we can see there's been a storm of a drive up. It's pushed, collapsed colossally, came back to the levels that was marked in. And even this one, if you look at it, when it surged up, it did go, well, we're in now, go, when it came back, it retested the level that I put in, stalled in and around this level where we're entering. But when it pushed up and created this here, it stopped dead on this level. Now these levels are created well in advance. They're not just marked in off this. These are off weekly charts at the beginning of the week. So levels is king. They really are king. And what I can see here is that super drive, but it's running out of steam, and we can see that because of this indecision. So you start adding some elements together. Strong drive, stalling on a key level, failure point at a key fib level, because that's what these are. I use them as fibs. Indecision, very big chunky seller. Right, so what that tells me is if there's going to be profit taking, it's going to be quite violent. And when it comes to the markets, there's obviously the old thing of markets go long, markets go short. Now, if you don't really understand where those terms come from, it's kind of this is my take on it. It takes time for a market to move up. It's gradual. So you take the stairs up, so it takes a long time to get up, go long. Or when it's coming down, that's quick profit taking, quick money. It takes a short time for the market to retrace, going short. So the analogy I use is you take the stairs up the market and you take the elevator down. You know, just a little tidbit. But anyway, it's that elevator I'm looking for. And what we can see, there's the drive. So we need to pick out where it started. Well, it started roughly here. There. Whoops, sorry. There. And got up to there. So that gives us some crucial points. Now we can trade into this 23, which is there, down into the 38, and then finally down into the 50. There. We can take it a step further if you want, because 61 is normally quite good as well. But what we've got there are good sort of entry exits. So if I'm entering up here, I'll exit here. You know, if I enter here, I'll exit there and work my way down the chart. Now, I always tip my toe in the water because I don't like to go full tilt. Now, I was asked this in the comments, and do drop in the comments your thoughts. I do genuinely answer every single one of them. And the comment was he couldn't get his head around why I stage. Well, it's a very simple reason. If I go 100% to market on point of entry, I've nowhere to go. I have to take the trade and I have to ride it out. Now, if that's going badly against me, it's going to cost me a lot of money. Whereas if I stage it backwards, it costs me less money because my stop will be in the same place regardless. But the staging will reduce that exposure. And then when it runs for me, because I've got better pricing, I get better money. It's a strange concept, but it's a concept that most beginner traders, amateur traders, just don't get. They don't get it at all. Because as far as they're concerned, you're losing money. You're not. You're protecting money. Most sort of good professional traders will stage a trade. It's just a punt if you go 100% to market. And the way I look at it is this. Well, if 90% of traders lose, it's not because 90% of what you see is not exactly correct. You know, because the same guy did mention that he'd asked a few people to do what I do, which is trade in the moment, and they won't. Horses for courses. And my point of difference, certainly for the group that I run, or moderate rather, is I'll tell them what I'm doing before I do it. And you can ask them. There's a free Telegram there you can go into as well. I set that up so that you can safely chat. Find all of these things in the description below. Ask the guys. You know, there's a lot of squad members hanging there. Ask them how many times I say I'm going to market before I go to market and how many times I'm wrong. It's not many. But when I am wrong, I know how to get out. And getting out is part of that staging. It's all about account preservation and management of the trade. The strategy will not make you money. In fact, it's the worst part of the puzzle. Management of the trade is where the money is made. Because you can have the direction wrong and still make money. Happy days, happy days. But only experience will give you that. Or the key to the door. And you find that in Discord. Anyway, let me play this out. I'm going to enjoy my coffee. Because we all know Scruffy likes it coffee. He certainly does. And he likes it in his little Forex mug. And that's what Joanne does over there. She designs these mugs. And you'll find the little merch shelf underneath. They're not much. 14 quid or something like that. Happy days. Catch you on the other side. Okay, boys and girls, that's that job done. As we were saying earlier on, I'm looking to go from an entry point to an exit point, which is this blue line, which is done. Now we need to switch off the scales that we didn't pick up. I must get in a habit of doing that, because it won't be the first time I forgot to take a pending order off and then go make a cup of coffee and come back and go, oh bollocks, it's triggered in. But what have we seen? If we just drop this back to the hour, it's pushed up and it came down into the first trigger point we were talking about. Now, if this was during the week and not a Friday, I'd kind of wait for it to come back up there, possibly re-enter to come back down again, because the premise is actually still there. Nothing's really changed, not particularly. But markets take a long time to play out, or at least they can do. But this has worked quite well. So there we are. Nothing open. Had the sense to kill the orders off. And that's it. So, all right. It's not the biggest trade in the world, and some people might scoff at it. But I actually think it's an excellent trade. And I'll tell you for why it's an excellent trade. Because I followed the plan from start to finish. The money is always secondary to the process. Now, if you're on this video looking for a quick buck, you're probably on the wrong channel. You genuinely are. I show real world trading here. It's always in the moment, and it's always based on a solid Forex idea, whether that Forex pair be New Zealand dollar as this here, pound dollar, it doesn't matter, as long as the Forex pair that I'm looking at marries up to the idea. And I'll follow the same process with the indices, whether it be the DAX, the FTSE, the Dow that I traded last night. The principle is always the same. I look for the idea, I build up a reason as to why I want to enter, then I target appropriately. I don't swing at the fences. This keeps my consistency really high as a day trader. And if I don't keep that consistency high, what happens is my day trade becomes a swing trade. Because if I'm stupid and I don't follow the rules, I'll hold on to it, which means I'll hold on to it overnight, praying to God this will come back. It doesn't. You need a point of entry and you need a point of exit, whether that's to a loss or to a win. The two of them are completely separate, and they are separate. I must stress that. Your exposure and exit is one set of criteria. Your profit is another set of criteria. They're two separate things. You combine them and start going down the risk-reward route, you're falling into the trap of the gambler. I only need to risk 1 bit to get 3 bits. No. Your trade has to be set up correctly, and then you have to have a point of execution that if you're wrong, you're getting out, and you're accepting that it's wrong, and the profit is what you get on the other side. They are completely separate. Different way of thinking. And as I said, if 90% of you are failing, 90% of what you listen to is bollocks. And I'll guarantee, you tell somebody they're shit at their job, but we're still going to pay you, they'll buy that. That's why you fail. Because the numbers game doesn't stack up. That's why a casino makes money. You've got to play the game right and do the job right. And that means understanding what you're looking at. And if your win rate is less than 55%, you ain't trading, you're gambling. It's period. It's as simple as that. And why? Because you're not reading the conditions of the market. You're not actually seeing what's going on. You're just taking a punt. It's my take on it anyway. I value your thoughts below. I do get lacerated all the time when I say this sort of thing. And quite frankly, I don't care, because I know I'm right. I've got 15 years on me that tells me I'm right. I earn a living from this that tells me I'm right. I'm going to be a public speaker at the biggest expo in Europe for Forex because I've been recognized as being right. And I trade in the moment. Very few will do that. So when you argue with me, understand I do know where I'm coming from. Case in point. But let's have a look and see what this has come from, because we had low bot early, but this has turned up today, and it says it's the Scruffy trader, so it must be me. Now, I've got a feeling I know what this is. Look at that. I think these are the samples from Winky. They are. How good is that? I thought there was two of these. Bloody hell. So it comes in a really good box, so it's not going to get smashed. Get that over there. And there you go. Day trader. She's doing well with that mug. She really is. And the decent quality as well. So check our little shelf out underneath. Excellent. Well, I should be pleased with that. Good stuff. Put that there for her. So there we go. Drop your comments below. I will talk to you. If you want to speak to me directly, you'll find all my contact details in the description below, as well as my preferred broker, which is Black Bull for MT5. So you can use that with our preferred prop fund, which is the 5%. But links are in below as to pretty much everything you see me use all the time. And of course, the Scruffy squad. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.